Well, Erik ten Hag's future has dominated the build-up to the FA Cup final as Manchester United take on their rivals Manchester City. Our senior reporter Melissa Reddy is all over this story. And Melissa, good to see you. A huge game for United, this, isn't it? Big game. But how much of a distraction is all of this talk about ten Hag's future?
It's been a huge distraction because when you actually analyze the build-up to the showdown at Wembley, it's almost felt like Erik ten Hag's future is bigger than the game itself, especially given the news that the club have held talks with representatives of candidates who could possibly replace him, like Kieran McKenna. And I was at Manchester City on Wednesday. I am telling you, the atmosphere around both clubs couldn't be more different. There was zero distractions at City. All the players talking about making more history, doing the double-double, chest out, so confident and assured because they have such a clarity of purpose heading into the final. At United on Thursday, just a day apart from me being at both clubs, Erik ten Hag was made to answer questions like, what would your message be to people who feel like Wembley could be your final act as United manager? And think about it for the players. They don't know if their manager on Saturday is still going to be their manager on Sunday. And as professional as you are and as focused as you want to be, I think it would be very hard because it's human nature to want to know what could possibly happen that would affect your future, right? It's quite hard to tune out all the speculation over who's on the short list, who's not on it, who are the clubs speaking to, what potentially could happen in the aftermath of that final. Not ideal preparations for Manchester United, for the players and for the manager himself, who has had to talk about his future so much, not just in the week leading up to this game, but pretty much for the entirety of the season.
Well, that's the media obviously speculating a lot about ten Hag's future, but you spend a lot of time at that club. What is the feeling around the club on ten Hag's future?
Yeah, you say the media are speculating, but that is because the club haven't actually come out publicly to give any sort of declaration on what will happen with Erik ten Hag, and that allows the speculation to swell. Now, Manchester United themselves say that no decision has been made yet. It will be taken after the FA Cup final, and the result at Wembley won't sway their decision-making. Now, Erik ten Hag said to us on Thursday that he's been having talks with Ineos. They have reviewed his 2 seasons in charge. So we know that strategic discussions have taken place with Sir Dave Brailsford and then Jason Wilcox, looking into his period in charge and reflecting on where there could be possible changes. Now, Erik ten Hag's always said that he doesn't need any public assurances from Ineos, from the United hierarchy. But when we look at it, he's been using his press conferences to send messages. And yesterday was a case in point where he kept circling the fact that he came to Manchester United to win trophies. He's won one and he's led the club to 2 FA Cup finals in circumstances that have been less than ideal. I think publicly, he's also been very, very confident and strong. You know, last month he said he has no doubts that he will still be in charge at Manchester United next season. Heading into the final game at Old Trafford, he was asked, do you feel like this could be your goodbye to the ground, to United? And he said, absolutely not. That's not the way he feels. That's not the way he sees it. So that's privately. Publicly, I'm told there's been a little bit of a change in his tone, a lot more emotive and reflective in the last few days. Whether that's telling or not, who knows? And, you know, we talk amongst ourselves in terms of the journalists and with the staff. And the feeling is that if United were concrete in keeping ten Hag, they would have communicated that already, because it would have helped. All the speculation would have died down and they could have had zero distractions heading into the final. That hasn't been the case. It probably tells us a lot.
Yeah, really important few days coming up for Ten Hag and Manchester United. Melissa, thank you very much.